Welcome to the bold analysis. President William Ruto must reroute the money saved from the austerity measures he's saying in public to address the cost of living. These are the words of Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakan'go, that is looking unbowed despite of the pressure from Kenya Kwanza administration. And days after her dramatic arrest, she has released the first quaternary report, budget report, to the parliament. And an inside look at that report will actually tell you why the state was arresting Nyakan'go. And in fact, it was a plan to suppress this report. I want to explain more about that, but I need to give an update about the project we were doing last week. I've not been able to do two videos yesterday. I came on Saturday, I was a bit exhausted. Yesterday I tried working the evening, then there was blackout. Now, the posho mill, I had already started the fundi and everything was set on. We were able to get 83,000. So today, the fundi is supposed to be there on site to construct it, to make sure that it's well established. Then Austin is also going to have a shop just in front of that posho mill. So all that we are expecting, of course, videos about it today. So we'll share it in this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Nyakan'go is telling Parliament that despite of William Ruto announcing austerity measures in churches and rallies, foreign and domestic travels has increased by 30%. I remember William Ruto saying here that he has reduced church expenditure, that he has reduced foreign travels, and that was when he was mocking the NADCO report about foreign travels. And in this report that we've been seeing, this is the article in Standard. I think you've already been seeing it there. The Standard has actually detailed what exactly is going on. 4.3 billion was spent on domestic and foreign travels, while 1.04 billion was spent on hospitality, says the new report, examining the expenditures of Kenya Kwanza in the first 3 months of the financial year 2023-2024. So the first quarter was it started in July, that is July, August, and September. So that is the report that was released, and she has really explained it in details. And I want you to look at this excerpt here. The Controller Budget recommends that the national government reduces expenditure on non-core items including traveling expenses in financial year 2023-2024. The savings should then, and I want you to get this part, the savings should then be channeled towards addressing the cost of living for Kenyans and other priority programs. Now, a very good ardent supporter of this channel, Mr. Bondo, talked to me, I think, when we were just analyzing this, because we're sharing about this report. And when we were analyzing this report, he was telling me that if William Ruto already, the budget for foreign and domestic travels are budgeted for. So because they already known the austerity measures, that money should not be available. That money should already be slashed from that budget and used. It should actually be rerouted. Not you wait to save it, then you spend it. No. You already know that you had budgeted, let's say 100 billion for foreign travels. You are slashing it by 50%. So slash it fast. And take that 500 million, take it to another project, so that you only have 500 million for your travels. But you know, that is not what has been happening. And so, this comes as Treasury is reminding the country about brokenness.
Buenos I have known you as a honest and a truthful man. Please share the truth before time catches up with you. Share the truth. Say, kimeumana. Give me time kidogo. You will be able to sort out the problem.
I can tell you, we are even having trouble with salaries. We are clearing salaries with arrears. Okay, just imagine that. The first thing we can do, and you are familiar with this story, is that we cannot default on external debt because our credibility is going to be ruined. It takes the first charge. But the team in the treasury are working very hard. In fact, that's what I started looking at in the morning. I was even called by the governor in Nairobi County telling me that, look, I'm going to be impeached. What are we going to do? I have not given salaries. You can imagine it's a liquidity issue which is short term, but we are going to get there. We are going to get there very soon. We are working very hard round the clock to make sure that we are doing that. Most countries have recognized what kind of the economies like ours, especially in the Horn of Africa, are facing the same problem, and they are coming up with budget support. We are signing supports from different countries. So we are going to ride over this. But in the meantime, we are just begging for a little bit of time. We are working 24 hours to make sure that we resolve this. And we want to make sure that how we resolve it also does not ignite solvency challenges. So we're going to be there, but it's only that we cannot get what we want at the time we really desperately want it, but we be sure that tomorrow, the next day, life is also going to give us some signal. In fact, the pattern of rainfall is helping us even to actually distribute relief pattern, even support, even evacuating people who are in dangerous places. Remember, when the rains were going on, it was impossible to do that. So at least in every crowd, there is a silver lining that we are trying to utilize, and we are going to make sure that we utilize it to the maximum.
We have suffered a long time from poor forecasting, and this is an area, please, I would ask the committee to talk to the National Treasury on a very serious note. The exaggerations are in the National Treasury, and let me just give one example. When I was doing the budget for consolidated fund services, this is where my salary is paid from. I found out that my salary was budgeted at 3 times what I'm paid. I am the only state officer in my institution. So there's nothing like confusion there. I'm all alone. So I asked them, why is the budget showing 3 times what my annual salary is? And it was like that for all the state officers.
What was the answer, madam?
Chairman, I have not received the answer to date. Integrity. They have not answered me why they budgeted 3 times what I'm supposed to be earning. So now, if that is only my salary, what I'm saying, we don't know what else is dodgy in there. And then when it comes to the supplementary, these amounts are then reallocated to other areas. So, honorable members, I'm asking you to talk to the Treasury in a very matter-of-fact manner to look at the way they are handling the budgeting. I think the problem is there. There's a big problem. Yes. Thank you very much once again, co-chairs. It's quite a mouthful, but I'll run through them as fast as I can. And I'm going to start with how the high taxation has contributed to capital flight. This was raised by one of the chairs. And indeed, we have seen high taxation leading to high prices, and therefore leading to inflation.
Counties have stalled in funding their operations since they have not received money since September, October, and November salaries still remain unpaid. Now, I want you to get that second bit on development money not taken. I think this is it here. Analysis of reports submitted for the first 3 financial year 2023-2024 by ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to the Controller of Budget attribute to low absorption of budget to delay in uploading procurement plans into IFMIS and disbursement of funds by the National Treasury. So we are saying we don't have money, but money is lying idle that is for development and we are not taking it. Does it mean we don't have the plan? It's a question of, and he's saying the Controller of Budget recommends that National Treasury streamlines funds disbursement cycle so that ministries, departments and agencies know when money will be released or approved for spending. So we are not spending. You know, if we use development project, we pay pending bills and we pay these contractors are going to employ other Kenyans and money will be there. So that is also one of the challenges we are having. Why you are broke is because government is having development money. They have failed to absorb it, and so contractors have not been paid and projects have stalled. With that, it is through such projects that money get to the economy, but that seems not to be happening. Back to the counties. Listen to Susan Kihika at pains struggling to explain to CHVs, now they are not called CHVs, community health promoters, CHPs, community health promoters, about the money. You know, I wanted to get the way she was lynching her the finance head in Nakuru about that issue.
Your Excellency, the MOH allocated as Nakuru County 3891 CHPs. We had in the payroll that 190. Yes. Now, there's an additional of 116 whose budget is a supplementary budget, and we are engaging them from 1st of January. Now, we have also a group here of about 500 who are activated in the system, but they were not engaged by the county.
Dr. Moremi, vile hawa watu hawataki story mingi. Wanataka kujua pesa zao wanapata lini. See, that is all. Kuna maneno ingine? Hamutaki story? Hamutaki hadithi? Mambo ni na inafika sanga? Na pia nimewaambia hivi. Si nimesema tutakuwa tunakutana quarterly. Wakichelewa tena when we meet in January, Dr. Moremi naambiwa majina huwa unapeleka by the 20th. So that mimi nikilipwa mshahara kama governor, my CHP pia anapata stipend at the same time. Sawa sawa? Can I promise you one thing? Can I promise you one thing? Nataka munisikize. Can I promise you one thing? If you are late again, Dr. Moremi will no longer be the CEO in health. CEO Malinda will no longer be the CEO in finance. Because we must have deliverables and people must be paid on time. Na hiyo sio tafadhali. Tuliambiwa maneno ni mangapi? Ni mangapi?
And I think Kihika just decided to be uneconomical with the truth. You know, in that program, the county is supposed to pay half. So the community health promoters are supposed to get 5,000 as the stipend, and I know you are well equipped with that. County government is supposed to contribute half, which is 2,500, and the national government is supposed to contribute half, which is again 2,500. Now, I want you to remember how I think we even had Mashujaa Day. How the theme of Mashujaa Day in Kericho Green Stadium, they paraded community health promoters. And the government of William Ruto has been in campaign rallies and churches already launching and explaining how that is a game changer. But to date, they have failed to pay to meet their obligation. Government is here to pay those CHVs the 2,500 that it owes them. The county government paid until September because they are yet to receive allocation for October and November. Remember, we are in December. So 2 months counties have failed to get that money. And when I saw Susan then lynching the head of finance, I was like, just trying to play one for the gallery. And I want to urge you to take, and I'm just advertising for them for free, of course. Get your copy of the Standard. Even go online and look for article. Salary delays as counties face cash crunch. You will really get very interesting revelation here. In Murang'a, a source, they have automated their services to ensure little we get is plowed back to perfect service delivery. Nyeri, last allocation was in September, and the county secretary is saying they last received 55.5 million in September. South Rift counties have managed to maintain stability despite months of delays in national treasury allocations. However, they are struggling to meet their obligations. Remember, counties that have on-source revenues, there are two sources of revenue for the county. There is that which is coming, there is the disbursement from the national government, and there is another one that is collected within the county. So Nairobi is even facing impeachment. Sakaja was saying he's facing impeachment because he has failed to pay salaries. In the situation in Baringo, Samburu and Bomet counties appear to be dire, with the devolved units struggling to fund crucial operations, but officials were reluctant to comment. These are counties that have problems in on-source revenue. Baringo, where are they going to get their money? They depend more on capitation from government. Nakuru County maintained that the country was still operating national treasury allocation. Workers have complained of delayed salaries. Same to Narok. You can look at Homa Bay, Siaya, Murang'a, Tharaka Nithi, Meru, and it is true. So that is what is going on. And if you want to know that there is a lot of politics in it, yesterday I listened to William Ruto speaking somewhere in, I think that was in Kiambu. And Alice Ng'ang'a was telling the elderly that they will start receiving their money in March.
Kuambia wanarari on behalf ya mimi sasa nasaidia president kidogo ya kwamba mwezi wa pili hapa kwetu Rari na Kiambu yote tutakuwa tunachukua watoto wetu wa NYS. Kwa hivyo mimi ndio nasimamia hiyo kule bunge, na mheshimiwa wenyu mtokee kwa sababu ya maneno ya NYS. Tuko pamoja? Na muambie watoto watokee kwa sababu rais wetu siku mbili zilizopita alisema ya kwamba wale watoto ambao watakuwa wanachukuliwa kuwa polisi, kuwa majeshi, kuwa wanasimamia wildlife, kuwa wanasimamia forestry, watakuwa wanatoka kwa NYS. Naturaiguana. Kwa hivyo ukituona huku mwezi wa pili, uambie vijana wetu ndio waweze kuingia kule kwa NYS. Ya pili, Your Excellency, nataka kukuambia sisi kama wana Kiambu tulizunguka Kiambu mzima wakati tulikuwa tunafanya maneno ya inua jamii. Kama wajumbe wa Kiambu tulishikana na tuka make sure every woman na mzee ambaye amefikisha 70 years, we registered them, na sasa wako kwa mradi wa inua jamii. Na kuanzia nataka mjue watu wetu warari wa mama ambao tumefikisha na wazee 70 years, kuanzia mwezi wa 3 next year tutakuwa wale tuliajiri, wale ambao we registered them, au mjue ya kwamba pesa yenyu itakuwa inaingia kuanzia mwezi wa 3. Tuko sawa? Sasa watajoin wale wengine ambao walikuweko. Sasa na wale wengine ambao tumeandikisha. Kutoka mwezi wa 3 tutakuwa tuna receive pesa yetu ya uzeni. Asanteni sana.
So look at this. This caucus that the government saying they will start receiving their money in March, that had been registered as early as March this year. And remember the way they were told they should register very fast before the budget is read, so that the money they will start receiving their money. Now, even 1 year after registration, you're still told to wait for 3 months. So look at the number of the kind of adjustments being made. We are in December. So you'll miss it for December, January, February, March. So that means it's also end of March. So it's like 4 months waiting, and we've also waited for another 8 months. So I'm telling you, things are not really looking good. But one thing that keeps on really recurring in people's mind, and why the puzzle that even economists cannot explain, is we have actually been borrowing large. If you've been following stories about William Ruto's foreign trips, or rather success stories of William Ruto's foreign trips, we went to Germany and there was an approval of 1.8 trillion facility for the country that was going to be spread in 3 months. Where is that money? There's been a lot of allocations coming from, or maybe about loan facilities from IMF. When IMF was telling us to make sure that non-profit making parastatals are not bailed by the exchequer, and you know, it was because they were giving us some loan facility. Could it be, and you know why, this is why I think we need to be very careful, because government even is planning to sell some 35 parastatals as part of strategies of raising this money. Then we are also overtaxing. I think we've been taxing anything taxable as we speak now. But on the other side, we don't have the money. So where is the money? You know, which is this debt that we are paying, because the country has also been asking us, give us an audit of this debt. I know the Eurobond is the largest, the largest loan facility we are servicing, and it is next year in June. What we are servicing in December now is fuel, the G2G, which is supposed to fund itself because it is a product given to us on credit. We are supposed to sell it, then it's supposed to repay itself. It's not supposed to be paid from our taxes. So G2G we are not paying. G2G is paying itself. That's what should, because they're giving us a product which we are selling, then we are giving them back the money. So which is these other loans that there have been a lot of noise and a lot of stories about loans we are servicing, and it's because of these loans that we are having problem. CDF is not yet dispersed, and it's not easy. High school, secondary school heads last week were complaining that they did not receive capitation. I think that probably for the third time. We are talking about this other, we are talking about the counties. They are yet to receive the money. So honestly, what exactly is not happening here? I want us to look at that. Now, Standard did a spot check, and they're saying a spot check by the Standard shows that several state agencies are still engaging in an essential spending on such goods and services as the provision of cut floors and lunches against the president's directive through the National Treasury. Now, do we really mean well by the issue of austerity? I don't think so. We don't have, it's not crossing our minds that we are going to cut costs by those austerity. Now, I'm seeing some 3 probabilities, and I want you to pay attention to that. And I want to say this with a lot of conviction. William Ruto must look for Uhuru Kenyatta to unlock the silver bullet in addressing the economic crisis. There is something that William Ruto is doing that is simply working against him. And you know, the reason why I'm saying he must look for Uhuru Kenyatta is Uhuru Kenyatta was a president when we had COVID-19. Total shutdown. There was no business that was open. I remember the first month, there was no business that was open. People were even in total lockdown. But we never got to this level. Let's be honest. And even by that time, we had loans we were paying. Ruto is yes to pay the Eurobond. Uhuru Kenyatta was also paying loans by then. But we never got into this. Uhuru Kenyatta was a president when there was that Ukraine-Russia war. It caused problems in the grain supply chain, global grain supply chain. We never got to this situation. So what is this that Uhuru did that William Ruto is not doing? Because government, the transition happened, and government doesn't work in silos. You know, it doesn't work in silos. It's very true that you just need to pick, what am I doing wrong? Yes. You need to have a sit down. William Ruto need to have a sit down with Uhuru Kenyatta, or even Uhuru era economists, and crack it down, because something is not working. Or if it is about locking, you know, who is then locking Nyota Ruto? because something is not simply adding up. Number two, there is no money to send to the counties. We are borrowing. We are taxing. You know, I was even just doing research. I'm supposed to, there is one of my siblings who is supposed to join some is it Kenya Utalii College? So, while we were processing that, then I found out that even the fees is supposed to be paid in the 222 pay bill, you pay bill government through e-citizen. There's even a report of government is planning to collect 1.5 trillion through e-citizen, which has already started and we are collecting money through that. 1.5 trillion through e-citizen as the target, while our budget is running at 3.6. So just look at it. That even half of our budget we can collect through e-citizen. So surely, why are we even having troubles? And that is why I'm saying, this money is not in this country. And it is a matter of time that investigation is actually launched just to find out where is the Kenyan money going. Are some people keeping money in some offshore accounts, in catch-up games? Yes. It is about we start asking those questions because we seem to be broke while we are spending. You know, I've seen a clip, it is in Kikuyu language, when Embu governor is telling the constituents that Ruto and Rigathi have been traveling with their own money. And I looked at that, I was like, what? They've been going out with their own money just to try to convince the public that everything else is right. So, is money getting smuggled out? Where is that money? Number three, Ruto is relying on citizens' reluctance. And this is very true. There is something that is going on. You know, I wanted to imagine if there was pressure. You know, when the judges were given a ruling about housing levy, Justice Majanja said that government should not take advantage of helplessness of the people in the formal sector, but because they are reluctant, they cannot protest. But you know, when you overtax the other people in the informal sector, they can easily protest, but government employees do not protest. So this is what is happening. I think the opposition is doing less for the country. They must push accountability questions on Ruto. I think Raila is trying to push on that front. I've seen questions on oil deal, I've seen questions on KCSE and KCPE, and is taking that path. Then more questions needed to be asked. Then the vigilance has to be there. If Nyakan'go was being arrested and the whole harassing was about this report, someone might have seen this report, and this is just my speculation. Someone might have seen this report and was trying to push her not even to publish that report, or even to ensure that maybe that report is doctored and she has declined. That could be the reason why people are going after her, because I think she's been so truthful to the cause that if something is wrong, it's wrong. And she laid it bare, saying very clearly that even if you compare this financial year and last financial year, we had between the first quarter of the last financial year, we had 3.3 billion for domestic travel. We had 3.37. Now we are doing 4.3. The same time. So, and I'm telling you, this is just first quarter. By the time we'll be getting to the third quarter, we'll be doing around 14 or 15 billion, which is way above what I expected. And what she's saying is, let's reduce on this expenditure so that we use that money to address the cost of living. And I know that's why some people are very uncomfortable with her. But again, sometimes it's always just good to be on the line of the truth, because it will always set you free. Thank you.